Hi friends, welcome to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Caitlin and I like to film eyeshadow palette ranking and review videos, as well as the occasional other beauty content sprinkled in. So if any of those things sound interesting to you, I highly recommend that you hit that subscribe button because I post 2 videos every single week. And for those of you that are not new here, my face is happy that you are seeing it again. And this is like half my base makeup that's left at the end of the day, and also like half of me wiping off my eyeshadow so that I could film a look for you all. So if my base makeup looks crazy, it's because I haven't touched it up yet, but I wanted to wait to touch it up until I did a look. But anyways, let's talk about what brought you all here, why you all clicked on this video, and it is the Halloween palettes from Unearthly. I'm calling them Halloween palettes because they're all like Halloween or scary movie or, you know, related, or TV show. Anyways, it's a Halloween collection, I feel like. But anyways, I'm going to do one look with each palette, and then give you my first impressions thoughts, because obviously I'm just going to do one look with each palette, so it will just be first impressions thoughts at the end of this. I do believe some of these palettes are still available for pre-order, if not all of them. If they are available, I will link them in the description box down below. But yeah, if you like Unearthly Cosmetics, if you like Halloween themed eyeshadow palettes, if you like Beetlejuice, The Craft, almost dropped it, The Munsters, or Queen of the Damned, then you should definitely hit that like button. And if you like eyeshadow palette tutorials, you should go ahead and keep on watching. I don't know why I called it an eyeshadow palette tutorial versus a eyeshadow tutorial, but anyways, all right, so I'm going to give you a brief little peek at each palette. I have more close-up shots of each palette on my TikTok, and I will have swatches on my Instagram. This is a 1964 palette. This is based on the Munsters, and just for the sake of I don't want to flip this all the way back because I don't want to mess up the thing, so I'm going to tilt it sideways, even though the palette's supposed to be like that. But anyways, that is the color story. I actually was debating not picking this one up because I wasn't sure about this color story, but the Shimmers Marilyn and Lily look so beautiful that I'm glad I did grab it. All the shimmers look beautiful, but those two in particular look stunning. So I actually am definitely more intrigued to test out this color story than I was like based on pictures. And I felt confident about my purchase when I saw the owner of Unearthly do like a live swatching of the different palettes on her channel, and I was like, oh yeah, that palette's pretty. Anyways, next up, this is the Weirdos palette. It is based on the movie The Craft. That is what that palette looks like. This seems to be everybody's kind of favorite color story. I'd be curious, the shade Glamour up here kind of reminds me of the shade Black Flame from the Halloween palette. So I was debating doing a swatch comparison, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But anyways, this one looks interesting as well. It looks like it'll be more of like a, not neutral, but like wearable color, like traditionally, like I've always said on this channel, if you can put it on your face, it's wearable. But what I mean is like more, it's like mauve-y purples and like grungy greens, and it's just what you tend to see people who lean more towards neutrals being comfortable with versus like bright colors, if that makes sense. It'll make sense when I show you the So Strange palette, which is based off of the movie Beetlejuice. Like, that is bright and colorful. You see what I mean? See how that's different? Okay. But anyways, I'm really excited for this one. If I am being totally honest, of these 4 movies, Beetlejuice is my favorite. I would say The Craft is second. And then I've never watched the original Munsters show. I know. I watched the recent, like, what is it called? Like a reboot that Rob Zombie did. And I don't know how I feel about it. If you are a Munsters fan, like the original show, what do you think of the Rob Zombie reboot? Because it was kind of weird, but is that like, was that just the vibe? I'm not sure. I liked it. I was really confused and weirded out in the beginning, but then I sort of got into it and I liked all the bright colors and I thought it was fun at the end. Anyways, this isn't a movie review channel, but warms my blood. Now listen, I love Interview with a Vampire. Queen of the Damned is a fun movie. It's not my favorite like Halloween themed movie, but Aaliyah is gorgeous in it, and her makeup is beautiful in that. She was just so stunning. But anyways, this is what the inside of that palette looks like. And what I was obsessed with is that this shade that up here, Awaken, is like a kind of a green duochrome flip. And I actually rewatched when they announced these palettes. I watched Queen of the Damned again because I hadn't watched it in a while. But anyways, I feel like she has like a green kind of duochrome shimmer on her inner corner for her makeup, so I thought that was appropriate. But anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna do a look with each of these palettes. My husband said I should start with this one, so I'm gonna follow his guidance. I think that'll work because the other ones I'm gonna have to do looks before work, and I really want to go for like a bright, fun, colorful look with this. Not that I can't wear that to work. My work is actually pretty good. They don't care, but it's just about my own personal comfort level. You know what I'm saying? So I have primed my lids with the Smashbox 24-hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer. I mean, to be honest, I probably could have figured out a look for work with this. Like, you got some grays and mauves. Like, I could have figured something out. Okay. I haven't swatched any of these yet, so that's part of what's making this difficult. Okay, we're gonna do a couple of swatches really fast. Ooh, Scared of Sheets is like, I grabbed too much of it. Oh no. It's definitely like a flaky shade. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, that's very similar to one of the pressed chrome flakes in the Danessa Myricks Lightwork Volume 4. It's definitely similar. Ooh, I like that. It's a little bit creamier of a formula just right off the bat than the Danessa Myricks pressed chrome flake, but the shade and the application look pretty similar to me. It's almost like the Danessa one, you have to really push your finger in and get stuff up, and then on this one you like barely do it and you get the same result. I don't know that there's a better or worse one with that, but just throwing it out there. Okay, so that's Scared of Sheets. This is the shade Unusual. Look at that gold. Oh, wow. Okay, and then let's look at the shade Afterlife. Okay, this one's kind of like a normal shimmer, which isn't bad. It's just not like duochrome like the other ones. Let's look at Shrunken Head. This one doesn't really have a flip either. It does have like a orange base with a yellow sparkle. All right, I might as well just swatch all the shimmers. This is Dark Room. Ooh, that's a really pretty gray shade. Okay, well, like gray, silver, whatever. This did not help me. Maybe it did. Maybe it did. Hold on, let me think. I don't know. Okay. Going into this, I was really thinking about, with one of these palettes, finding a way to do an all matte look with just a hint of a shimmer, because I thought that could be fun. And I think I'm gonna do that with this palette, because these like bright neon mattes are what was really calling to me. Don't get me wrong, these shimmers are beautiful, but I just think an all matte look might be kind of fun. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm picturing is the like purple and pinks in the crease, and then the two green mattes on the lid, and then probably Scared of Sheets. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna start, you know what, I've been feeling going darkest to lightest lately, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna start with this Blend Bunny Cosmetics B1 brush and the shade So Strange, which is the like royally purple shade, for those of you that are curious and have yelled at me for not doing that before. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. This is gorgeous. Like, that purple is straight up purple. I think this is like the exact same shade of purple as that lipstick from the mystery box. Okay, I know my bangs are in the way. I apologize. I just wanted to change up my look. So that is stunning. Yeah, I'm gonna go in with the shade, or not the shade, the Beetlejuice brush from the Melt Cosmetics collab, and the shade It's Showtime, which is the like pinkier purple. I don't know if there's really a huge depth difference between these. And I really need to get my eyebrows done. Okay, luckily my bags kind of cover them up, but they are struggling. So let me know which of these palettes you picked up, if you picked up any of them, and if you did pick them up, like what drew you to the one you picked up or ones you picked up. And if you didn't pick them up, are you like duping the vibes from your stash, or are you just like not a fan of the color stories? Let me know either way down below. Love chatting makeup with you all, and I'm sure I will forget that I already said that, and you'll probably hear me say that again in this video because this is going to be filmed over multiple days. Because listen, I work a crazy amount of hours and I like to sleep too much to be able to have time to not film this across multiple days. Anyways, okay, so now we're gonna go in with Miss Argentina, which is the hot pink. I'm taking a BH Cosmetics fluffy blending brush. Ooh, that pink is bright. So I'm just kind of shearing that pink out a little bit, just trying to distribute that everywhere. Yeah, that is so pretty. These purples, I want to die. They're so gorgeous. Like this shade, what is it? So Strange. This is the perfect Beetlejuice purple. It's perfect. That's all there is to it. I mean, don't get me wrong, these shimmers are probably, well, okay. And the other palettes, I think this shimmers may be the star of the show. Although Unearthly has a great matte formula, so I don't want to knock that, but I just mean these shimmers look absolutely insane. These shimmers in this current palette also look insane, but these mattes are so bright that I just kind of have a hard time believing that the shimmers could be better. Although part of me really just wants to put Scared of Sheets all over my lid, but I just want a little bit of a different vibe. And I want to try as many shades as I can, you know? And I like to try and give look inspiration that I feel like, you know, is, I don't want to say different, because I mean, obviously we all look at these palettes and look at stuff different, but I just want something that's, I don't like going in with like my first idea when I look at a palette for these videos. I like going in with something that I think through a bit more, because my initial idea is usually a monochromatic look. And not that there's anything wrong with monochromatic looks, but I just want to give you all something a little bit different. Like I said, I want to try as many shades as possible. And yeah. Okay, so since I'm going to go in with mattes, I'm going to actually cut my crease. I'm going to use the Kaleidos Tone Activator Eye Primer. Shout out to me for getting this for free with my Kaleidos Night of Creation collection purchase, because I have been using the crap out of this. Although I will say it doesn't feel like there's like a ton of product in it. I've only used it like twice. Am I using too much? Probably. So this is a Sigma cut crease brush. And I'm just working on cutting this crease. The blend's not perfect on this side, but it is good enough for me in the fact that this makeup is going to be done and then washed immediately off after pictures, because I will be going to bed. So do with that what you will. I didn't have quite as much eye primer on this eye, so I'm going to grab a little bit more. Part of me wants to do like a fifth look that's combining all of the palettes, but I don't know if that would be fun for you to watch, especially because I'm not sure that everybody bought all of the palettes, so is that going to be a bummer? So I'm just sticking to one look with each palette. But let me know if you want to see a video like combining 2 of these palettes, 5 of these, like, I don't know, let me know what you want to see. And if I don't do it on YouTube, I could do it on TikTok. Okay, I'm going to take my Sigma Cinderella brush. This is the E55 eye shading brush. And I'm going to start with the shade Draw a Door, which is this neon green. Now, if I really wanted this to pop, I could have put like a white base down. but I didn't think about that. Oh my gosh, this green, the pink, the purple, they're literally all amazing. Hopefully I'm not blocking my eyeballs. That's a little bit the vibe. Now I'm going to take the other side of that same brush and go in with Beetlejuice, but it's with a G, and it's a dark green. I think, is there another shade? That's the only Beetlejuice shade. Just seeing if this palette had multiple, because sometimes palettes will have like Beetlejuice with the J and then with the G, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just tapping this green over where the green, the like lime green and the purple are, so that we can create a little bit of a blend. And then I'm going back in with that neon green shade to just blend a little bit more. There we go. That is, you cannot tell me that's not like a straight up neon green. That is amazing. I'm going back in with some of that like really royally purple shade just to cover up what we lost. But yes, I love this. It's giving very 80s vibes. What I think are so fun about these multi-chrome shades is that they really can, they just add so much versatility to your palette, because you can tap them over any single one of these shadows and it's going to look different than if you just had the shadow. You know what I mean? Okay, why did this eye blend so much better than the other one? Okay, I will say this, like royally purple and the dark green blend into each other so nicely, because the dark green has almost like a, I don't know if it's like a teal-liness to it, but it is lovely. Okay, so here's what I'm debating. Do I want to just put the shimmer shade in the inner corner, or do I want to do like a liner with the shimmer? Or both? Let's do both. Like I said, let's try as many shades as possible. I'm going to take this winged liner brush from the Sigma Beauty and Samantha Ravndal collab, and I'm going to go in, I think I'm going to do like a multi-chrome liner situation because I want to use as many shades as possible. So I'm going to go in with the shade Afterlife, which is the pink shimmery shade. And I'm not going to spray my brush, but I'm going to put Afterlife here. I should have probably gone in with the black base, but whatever. You live and you learn, you know? I love doing all matte looks, or even if it's like one shade on the lid and then just a shimmery liner for kind of like a two shadow look. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so now I'm gonna take, this is actually for more like a cake liner. We're gonna use it for this anyway. This is the Unearthly Cosmetics and Fairy Freak brush. This is the number 5 brush. I'm just gonna grab the shade Shrunken Head, which is the orange shimmer right there. I am not using this brush what it is intended for. So it's not exactly cooperating. Go, it's like the pink to the orange. And I feel like you are all at this point picking up what I am putting down. And you know what shade we're gonna go in with next. I'm going to take this ColourPop E20 brush and the shade Unusual, which is the yellow shimmer. I probably showed that too fast for you to actually see what that was, but it's okay. Yeah, that yellow shimmer is, okay, that is super shifty, gorgeous, beautiful. All right, so that's, I mean, that is basically the vibe. I'm just building up this pink shimmer a little bit more. So, this is gonna be the eye look. I'm going to replicate this on the other eye, clean up my base makeup, and then decide if I'm going to do something interesting on the lower lash line or not interesting. If it's not interesting, meaning it's like just the same as what I did up top, I'm not going to show it. If it is different, I will show it. So you will find out in 1 second. So I decided I've used 8 out of the 12 shades so far, because I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mattes and then 1, 2, 3 shimmers. And I was planning on putting that shade in the inner corner. So I was like, you know what, screw it, I might as well use the only 3 shades I haven't used yet on the lower lash line, and then I will have created a look using 12 different eyeshadow shades. So it might be a lot, but I'm trying to try everything out and see if it like works. To be honest, if you just did this look with the purples and pinks on the lower lash line. I think that would be stunning. You could keep this an all matte look and skip the shimmery liner. You could use one of the shimmers as a liner. I would say if I did that, I'd probably go with the shade Unusual, because that seems to be more of a multi-chrome shade, and so it would shift across all of the shimmers, or all of the mattes that it's on top of. Anyways, doesn't matter. Oh, I did go in with the Kaleidos eyeliner in Tourmaline in my waterline. I felt like that reflect was similar to the shade Unusual. So what I'm thinking we're gonna do is take Sandworm, which is the dark gray matte, on this Morphe M158, which is an eyeshadow brush, or an eyebrow brush, but whatever. I think this is gonna be light. Yeah, that's gonna be light. Okay, so I'm changing that. We're pivoting. I'm gonna go in with Dark Room, which is the darker gray shimmer. Yeah, that's dark. I am not a huge fan of shimmers on the lower lash line for me personally. I've seen lots of people do looks that I think look really pretty, but when I do it on myself, the shimmer on the lower lash line is just not my favorite. But like I said, I'm trying to try out as many of these shades as possible. And if I can use all 12, awesome. I make no promises that I will be able to do that with any of the other palettes, so don't expect it. Now I'm going to take, this is a BH Cosmetics, like it's kind of like a little flat brush. I'm gonna go in with the shade Bride, which is red, and this is like the perfect red for Lydia's dress. Here, it's right there, that she wears in the movie, the red dress that she wears. So I'm just gonna smoke that a little bit, and then we'll smoke it all out with that gray, since that gray was a little bit lighter. This look maybe lost its cohesion when I started doing this. I probably should have kept the lower lash line the same, but whatever. I was just tempted. I was like, oh, could I actually slap all 12 of these shades on my eye? And so I wanted to do it. You know the quote in Jurassic Park, I think it's Jeff Goldblum's character, where he's like, you only thought about if you could, but not, like, what is that quote? Hold on. Okay, here's the quote. It says, your scientists were so preoccupied with whether they could, they didn't stop to think if they should. That was me. That was me with this look. I just was focused on, can I physically squeeze 12 eyeshadows on my eye? And the answer was yes. But should I have squeezed 12 eyeshadows on my eye? I don't know. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with Sandworm on this Blend Bunny B4 brush. And just smoke that out a little bit more. I mean, don't get me wrong, it doesn't look terrible, it's just not super cohesive. Hey, listen, if you like this look, cool. Tag me if you recreate it, because I want to see if you do a variation of this look, like I said, where you could drop the lower lash line, or you could, you know, make some of those modifications. Also tag me, because I would love to see that. Okay, let me see. I'm going to take this Sigma and Samantha Ravindell brush. This is the Detail Pencil brush, and I'm going to try this with the shade Scared of Sheets. I'm going to see if this can pick the shade up a little bit. This is really sparkly, like sparkly chunks versus super opaque. Oh yeah, that's like a party on my inner corner. Okay, I love that. Oh my gosh, I really want to play with that shade all over the lid, because that is definitely a party. I'm not gonna lie, this was not the vision for this look, and I don't know that I love that flaky shade on the inner corner. It's not quite opaque enough to be bright enough. Maybe if I did like a matte inner corner and then tap that over, that might have been the move, but I didn't do that. So I'm gonna put lashes on, finish fixing my base makeup because I got distracted, and then obviously do my lips and stuff. Anyways, I'll finish the whole thing, and then I'll come back, give you the finished look plus my initial thoughts on the So Strange palette. Okay, here is the finished look. Let me get my hair out of my face, or out of my eyes, I should say. What do you all think? I love it. It does look like the palette threw up on my eyeballs. That's okay. It's not the most cohesive look, but I did put 12 different shades on my eyes. So like I said, there's some modifications you can make that I think would make this work a little bit more, but also I don't think it looks bad for 12 shades on my eyes. I was smart for the first time in my life, and I am actually wearing Unearthly Cosmetics eyelashes in the style Divinity. If you're curious, I just reapplied my base makeup that I had on earlier. So I was wearing the Melt Cosmetics Santa Cruz bronzer, the About Face Beauty Cheek Freak blush, and then the Kaleidos Makeup Star Surfer highlight. So I just reapplied all those. Same with the lipstick. This was the lipstick I was wearing earlier. It's CREAM or Cream from Milk Makeup. But yeah, let me give you my initial thoughts on this palette. I think this is a pretty cohesive color story, which I didn't think I would have said that, but given that I was able to work all 12 shades on my lids, and it doesn't, on my eyeballs, it doesn't look that crazy, I think that's a pretty cohesive color story to me. You have so many options with this. I think you can do some like 2-shade looks, right? You can go Shrunken Head and Bride, Dark Room and Sandworm, Afterlife and Miss Argentina, which I think is fun, or Scared Sheets on top of literally any of the mattes is going to look beautiful. Unusual was the most surprising shade to me. I wasn't expecting that to be like such a pretty shimmer on the eye, so I really liked that. Yeah, anyways, those are my initial thoughts on this palette. Yeah, those are my initial thoughts on this palette. So we will go ahead and move on to look number 2. Okay, good morning. I am getting ready for work, and if you have ever seen a YouTube video from me or a TikTok video, you'll know that I am always running late. So I'm going to do a look with the 1964 palette. It's not going to be the most in-depth look like the first look, but hopefully we'll still like it. So I'm going to start with this Real Techniques 057 I'm so tired. I did not get my full 8 hours last night. Precision Point eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to start with the shade Transylvania, which is this blue shade. And to be honest, there's probably a better brush I could have started this with, but I just grabbed the first thing I saw. So that is a gorgeous like cobalt blue color. And I'm just kind of packing this all over my lid. It doesn't have to look perfect because I'm going to go in with other shades to blend, and also we're going to tap over all of this with a metallic. So just trying to get the color down basically. That is basically it. And I'm intentionally leaving some of the inner corner open because I know I'm going to want to go in with this like lime green shade. But anyways, next up we're going to go in with the shade Herman. We're going to use a Buff and Blend E39 brush from Sigma. Ooh, that green and that blue together. Oh, so pretty. I mean, honestly, I could just probably leave it there, but I want to blend it out a little bit more. I'm really feeling this green-blue color combo. Okay, so I was going to go in with the lime green shade, but I think I want to save that for the inner corner. So I'm just going to take a fluffier brush and the same shade Herman to blend this out a little bit more. Diffuse it a bit more. So this is a Real Techniques and Victoria Lynn brush. This is a 045, but I feel like Herman's light enough to work. So now what I'm thinking is we're just gonna go on the lid with the green shimmer shade Vampire and then the blue shimmer shade 1964. And that's why I didn't really worry about making this blend between these two perfect, because I knew I was going in with other shades. So I'm going to take this Morphe M224, it's just a flat brush, and I'm picking up Vampire, and I'm going to spray this with my MAC Fix Plus, because that's what I like to do with my shimmers. And you could just do a smoky eye with those green and blue mattes. You would just want to go back and forth to, you know, fix any patchiness. But like I said, I ain't got time for that today, so we're just gonna cover that up with shimmers. It's also a good trick if you're trying to do an all matte smoky eye and it's not working out for you and you ain't got time to fix it. Put shimmers all over that and you are good to go. So now I'm going to take the other side of that same brush, and 1964 is a gorgeous shade. Let me just show you on the brush. I don't know if it'll show on camera, but whew, that's pretty. Oh my gosh, this is like a blue-green or like blue-teal duochrome. I love that. Probably could have just rocked this shade all over, but like I said in part 1 or look 1, I'm trying to use as many shades as I can. There we go. I mean, that's gonna basically be the look. So now I'm gonna go back in with that original Real Techniques brush that we used to like diffuse everything, and I'm just running that along the edges of the shimmers to sort of dull any harsh lines. I'm going to take the Sigma and Samantha Ravindal collab brush, the detail pencil brush, and go in with the shade Munsters, which is that neon green shade here. That matches my shirt perfectly. And we're going for a matte neon inner corner, which I think is the vibe for sure. There is no white base, so this is just what that shadow looks like on its own, and it is stunning. Okay, so I'm going to clean up my under eyes, do my base makeup, and then I'm just going to repeat the same mattes that I did up top on bottom, so I'm not going to show that, but I'll come back, show the finished look, and give you my initial first impressions thoughts of the 1964 palette. Okay, here's the finished look. I did not have time for lashes, so we just have mascara, and if I pull my bangs out of the way, this is what it looks like. I am obsessed. I really like how this turned out, actually. And I'm saying actually because I thought, like, since I didn't have a ton of time, it was not going to go well, but I think it went really well. So I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 12 shades. Not quite the same feat as yesterday, but I really like these colorful tones in this palette, and I think because you have like the white and the dark gray, you can get variety to these looks. I didn't try the lighter shimmers, but they look stunning. So anyways, let me know what you think about this look down below in the comments, and I will move it along to look number 3. Okay, so I decided we're gonna go in with the Weirdos next and save the biggest palette, Warms My Blood, which also seems to be the palette that a lot of people are the most interested in. Anyways, saving that one for last, but this is what the Weirdos palette looks like. I'm gonna hold it this way because I feel like it's easier. I'm gonna go in with like the purples, pinks, and reds because we've done green, like a more greenish look yesterday. So that's what I'm feeling today. Getting ready for work again, so running late again. Okay, I'm gonna take this Unearthly Cosmetics fluffy blending brush, and we're gonna go in with the shade He's Sorry, which is this pink shade. Now, I really like the bangs until I'm trying to film an eyeshadow tutorial for you all. Then they're not my favorite, but otherwise, I think they're fun. That shade is really like a pretty ballerina-y pink and blends into the crease well. So then I'm gonna go, I'm gonna take the red shade Dangerous Type. It's this one. I'm gonna take a ColourPop E19 brush, kind of into the crease. This is like such a pretty look, just these two shades. Like if you just did these two and this shimmer, that would just be such a pretty look, I think. It could be really fun to do like a pretty pink, like light look and then pair it with like their dark black lipstick from the mystery box, or if you just have a black lipstick, but I was thinking for myself. That might be a fun look. And then go heavy on the blush. Oh, yeah. If I wasn't buying so many eyeshadow palettes right now, I would say I could do like multiple looks videos with each of these palettes. I can still try and do that because I'm trying to slow my roll, but it might be a while before I get to that because I got a lot of other new stuff coming, but let me know if you'd want to see that. This is a Morphe M321 brush, and now we're gonna go into this purple 3x3. I think I might make The Craft one of the movies I watched this weekend because I love watching spooky movies all through October. Maybe I'll watch The Craft tonight if I have time. Been getting off work late every day this week, so it's been difficult to squeeze my scary movies in. I'm being kind of messy with this. I don't know if it's just because I'm in a hurry or I just don't care, but I'm just kind of slapping these shades on. This is definitely giving me Love palette from Natasha Denona vibes, this particular look. Not the palette itself, they're obviously super different, but this is like Love's grungy sister. I think that's pretty much it. I'm trying to decide if I want to make it darker. Oh, yeah, why not? I'm going to take this Morphe M431 shade or brush and the shade I Bind You, which is the black. Oh, that is a more pigmented black than I was expecting. I have not done swatches of these palettes yet, so that might have been my bad. I really am sure I've blocked my face this whole time. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with that purple over the black because I want it to be more purple, less black. All right, I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. Okay, so I kind of want to take the shade Feather and I just want to go in with my finger because I want to see if I can just lightly tap that and make it more of like a toppery, shimmery shade. Because this does have it looks like a green one, but it's like a green pink multi-chrome. And I'm making a mess on the lower lash line, but that's okay. Okay. Yeah, I think that's really pretty. Okay. I'm trying to decide if I want to just go ahead and put, yeah. I'm going to take I'm Flying because why not? I'm just going to put that on this finger and I'm going to blend that shimmer in. Ooh, that's really pretty. I am obsessed. I know every YouTuber says that, but I am. That's basically going to be the eye look. I may use that black to do like a shadow winged liner. But yeah, I'm going to do that, clean up my base, do my base, you know the whole thing. I'm going to repeat the same. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to yeah, I'm gonna repeat the same matte shades on the bottom just because I want more of a cohesive look. I was debating going in with the green mattes, which you could do, but I think I want it to be more of a cohesive look. So I'm gonna repeat the same mattes on bottom that I did up top. Maybe if you see me come back, it's because I changed my mind and I did the greens. But anyways, I gotta keep this moving. Here is the finished look. I did put the 2 green mattes on my lower lash line, and then I just put that shade Feather into my inner corner. But yeah, that's the look. So I used 1, 4, 5. Oh, and I forgot I said I added the Weirdos over like the black liner, but I don't think it's that noticeable. So anyways, I did 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've used 9 out of 12 shades, so not bad. But yeah, anyways, let me know what you think about this look down in the comments and we'll keep it moving to look number 4. Okay, last day, going in with the Warms My Blood palette. I was editing the other looks that I've done so far and I kept saying like, oh, I want to do a matte look with some shimmer, and then I pulled in a bunch of shimmer. So I do want to try and do an all matte look. So I want to go in with like, and do like a neutral brown matte look and then do Awaken in the inner corner because it's just giving me the vibes of like what like Queen Akasha's makeup looked like in Queen of the Damned. And that's her right there. I mean, she had like a cut crease and then her brows like did the same thing. So I'm not doing it that dramatic, but you know what I'm saying? Like it was like matte with like a greenish duochrome, like a matte brown with like a greenish duochrome, which is what I want to go for. So I think I'm going to start in the crease with the shade Violin, which is like a light tan brown. I think it should work as a transition shade. Might be a little bit too dark. If so, I'll pull in the white, which is called Stone. But I'm just going to use this BH Cosmetics number 5 brush. And this palette is the big one. It's 20 shades. The other palettes have 12. So it's a little heavy, but that's all right. I'll try and use it as my mirror. And honestly, if you're somebody who's not a huge fan of color and you like more like neutral, but you wanted one of these palettes, I mean, Warms My Blood is definitely the route to go. Like, yes, there's like duochrome special shades and there's like some reds and
purples, but I feel like you can blend them with the browns, and you can just make the looks in for this palette overall just a more neutral leaning vibe. I think you can still get pre-orders for each of these palettes on Unearthly's site. I'm pretty sure, but I could be wrong. Okay, and this is pretty warm, so I think instead of going in with Mother, which will warm it up more, I'm gonna go in with Lestat. And of course, I want to use the Lestat shade. I mean, come on. Mainly because of the character, if you haven't seen those movies. Okay, so let's see. So this is a Morphe M330. It's a tapered blending brush. I'm going to go in with Lestat, and I feel like this will deepen up, but also help us go a little bit less warm. Because I don't want this to be a super warm look. Okay, I'm going back in with the shade Violin, but I'm also taking Stone, some of the white shade, just to kind of help blend this out a little bit more on the inner portion, but also make it just a touch lighter. So next up, I'm going to go in with the shade Alone. This is like a pretty like cool toned plummy brown. And I'm taking a Morphe M321. This is deep enough that I don't think I'm going to need to go in with the black this time. And to be honest, if you're just watching these, you have no intention of picking up these palettes, you're just watching these videos more for inspiration for stuff you do have. I'm sure you have brown neutrals that you could recreate this particular look with. But if you're in the market for this Warms My Blood palette, so far, these mattes are incredible. And I really, like I said, I really love the theming of this palette and this collection. So if that's what you're looking for, I do think the performance of the shadows is really nice. So, I mean, that's basically going to be the vibe. I'm not going to do a cut crease because I want it to be more of like a soft matte look. What I'm going to do is take Stone, which is the white shade, and a little bit of Violin, which is that brown shade, and I'm gonna put that all over my lid. And then I'm gonna take, I'm using this flat brush. Oh, I didn't even say it's a Lancome brush that I got for free at some point. And I'm just gonna go in with Violin on one side and use that to kind of help blend the mix of Violin and Stone into this darker shade that we put down Alone, and going back in with a little bit of Alone just to kind of blend back and forth between those shades and get like a really nice gradient. And I could obviously just leave this look here. I'm just going to do this eye because I'll finish the rest off camera, but I'm going to do the duochrome shade in the inner corner. Let's just see if we like that vibe. So this is going to be the shade Awaken. I'm using a ColourPop E10, and I'll show you what shade Awaken is. It's this flaky shade up at the top. Okay, it's definitely going more pinky gold than like green. Meh, oh well. And since this is so flaky, I'm just kind of pressing it in with my finger to get it to blend out a little bit more. It's so funny because on my fingers it's green, but for sure on my eye, like when I'm staring forward, and I'm sure this is what you see, it's this pinky color, but it is okay. It'll be okay. I kind of like how this is like concentrated in the inner corner and then sort of onto the matte like barely, so I'm just gonna place like the tiniest hints of sparkle across the lid. So that's gonna be the look. So I'm gonna do that on my other eye, gonna do my base makeup, and then I will come back and show you the finished look and then give you my thoughts on this palette and then overall thoughts on the collection. So this look took some turns since you've last seen it. So I used the About Face mascara in Edge of the Earth, the colored mascara, and I put it on the lower lash line, and then I accidentally like stabbed this eye and I couldn't clean it up without having to redo everything. So I sort of just intentionally smudged some of the mascara on the lower lash line to give it a bit more color, and then what else? Oh, I added faux freckles. And in my waterline, I have the Danessa Myricks Infinite Chrome Pencil in Jade. So yeah, so that's the finished look. So it went from being like a neutral with like a duochrome to like a pop of blue on the lower lash line unintentionally. But I will say, doing an all neutral look with a colorful mascara is a fun way to add a pop of color. So I'm not mad about it. So anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know which look was your favorite, because we've done 4. Overall thoughts on this palette, I think it's really pretty. I feel like Awaken and Queen, like Queen has more of a pinky base, but they kind of reflect the same, so I don't know if both were needed. I haven't tried a ton of shades. Let's see, I've only used Awaken, Stone, Violin, Alone, and Lestat. So I've only used 5 of 20 shades. So I haven't used a ton of the shades in this palette, so I probably need to definitely use this one more to give overall thoughts. I have swatched all 4 palettes and they are all stunning. Like seriously so beautiful, so shifty. Those are on my Instagram, like I said, by the time you're seeing this video. And yeah, I mean, I like the palettes. I do think there's some of the mattes that are similar, but I was thinking about it, and if you have 3 palettes with 12 shades, that's 36. Then you have 20 shades in this palette, so you have 56 like pans between all 4 palettes. So it probably makes sense that there's some shades that are a little bit similar. But I feel like I like each individual color story. I like the theming of the packaging. So yeah, overall, really enjoy these palettes. The special shades are special. I see why these palettes had a bit of a higher price tag. And yeah, I mean, those are basically my thoughts. So let me know what you think of the 4 looks I created in the comments down below. Like I said, I do have a lot of other makeup that has recently or makeup specifically eyeshadow palettes that have recently come into my collection, so I'll be doing some more videos with those. But if you want to see more dedicated videos with these particular palettes, let me know and I can try and make that happen. It just might be a minute before I get to it. But anyways, thanks for watching and I will see you next time.